Hello, hello, hello. Let me make sure I'm not still muted. I am good. Whoops. I doubt anyone's here yet, but how's everyone doing? Hey, it's Bob. Where'd those smoke particles come from? Could have been my little fire. How are you doing, Bob? Do you got any fish? No such luck. Oh damn, my pine tree already grew. I know I had that set up to be fast. I didn't know I had that set up to be that fast. But I don't mind. Alright, what can I actually get rid of to make space? Boom. Well, if I go to this astral gear, I don't know where, or what to do with. I know where it came from. Oof. Good, I can just put that in there. It's not what I would call ideal storage. But it do be storage. Smack you down, those ones are earthworm castings. Alright. Is my bushmeat going bad? No, it's fresh for 12 days. Interesting. Oh yeah, my shadow is because I'm a small bird. Unfortunately, the colors aren't right, but the model's alright. I suppose I would rather be an imperfect Avali than not an Avali at all. Right, where am I going to make my charcoal pit? Going to have to be careful this time. Let's not start any large fires. Although if it's done correctly, the charcoal pit should not be able to start fires. It's a pretty big if, though. I'm kind of dumb. Alright. So we're going to make a small charcoal pit on account of I'm lazy. Avali aren't chickens. Yoink. It's a good thing I didn't comment on my axe almost being broken, because it isn't. I don't know why my brain went there. It's like, oh no, my axe is breaking. Don't get me wrong. It could be more durable, but it's not broken yet. Alright. I need more firewood. Boom, 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 boom. I mean, yeah, if you get sparks going, you can pretty easily start a fire. Come on, Spelt, grow faster. I hope my rye grows. My Avali, despite the fact that Avali are usually scientists and engineers and whatnot, actually went from fishing to security to pilot to teaching, and then eventually necromancy. Would they have done necromancy sooner if it existed? Probably. But it's pretty important to note that Satu did not choose necromancy, necromancy chose Satu. Ooh, fish. Of course, I've already got that astral gear in there. You're going to have to hit it for a really long time. I don't know how accurate it is, but apparently you can cook a chicken by slapping it. Non-temporal gear. Right. Throw some firewood in there. Gonna grab my torch. Boom. If you slap the chicken hard enough, it would cook it. Probably knock off all the feathers too. Somebody did the math. See how hard you would have to slap a chicken to cook it perfectly. Ooh, more fish already. Got 4 meat out of that one. And eggs, but they're not ovulated, so I'll just eat these raw. I need to make my Chuckle Pit game stop distracting me. Might as well put another log in there as well. Bajillion degrees for 1 minute. If we launch the chicken into the sun and then teleport it back, it would probably come back cooked. You can trust me. I'm a scientist. Or at least I play a scientist on TV. Could you get closer? I've got short arms. Things got so much health. My goodness, are Rustbound Magic enemies annoying. What do I get? Just some crystals. Which is the usual drop from such an enemy, so... Don't know, I'm surprised. Just gonna put these crystals on my roof and then continue what I'm doing. Whoop. Now, 1 second. Hooey, is anybody dying? I feel like I got, like, no sleep. Anybody else, I meant. Unless I said anybody else. In which case, perhaps my obvious is more tired than I thought. Even if you're a mage, sometimes the best way to kill something is to just stab it repeatedly with a sharp rock on the end of a stick. Oh good, I did get at least 1 pine cone from that. I will miss the Wildcraft Fruits and Nuts days of collecting pine cones for food. Low fertility soil with sparse grass. Look at that tiny deer, and it's gone. Nope, that's blackcurrant. Couldn't chop down these trees, although I'm going to need to make another axe. Life is just a series of making more axes. That's fair. I can't see for shit because I'm just blind. What good are these glasses if I can't see even with them on? Any more logs? I'm actually surprised my axe hasn't broken yet. Let's go add these to the Chuckle Pit because my inventory is struggling. At some point I'm going to have to go more south. Just keep traveling until I can find a decent amount of resources. I've actually already got enough copper to make a pickaxe now. Damn it. I'm still short. Probably because I'm a small bird. Ha 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 ha. Tool rack. Smack it there. Of course, I've got to keep most of my tools on me, and I gotta cough again. 1 second. Alright, I lived. Let's go get more sticks, more firewood. It's just an infinite cycle of firewood-related violence. Boom. Of course, now my inventory is basically full. Let's go plant this flax. A lot of running around. It's a good thing a volley are fast. I tend not to get a lot of viewers. So I couldn't tell you where all the other viewers are. And perhaps they simply do not exist. It can take a while for them to start pouring in. That is, if they pour in at all. You love gnomes? Perhaps you were a gnome in a past life. How many sticks do I need for a pair of tongs? Uh-oh. Do you mind? We can do this all day. Get down here and fight me. Despite my short arms, the reach on this spear is better than it seems. Alright, he could have something good on him, so I've got to carve him, unfortunately. Scott. Some rusty dust. Oh, and some shifting fibers. And I got a loud noise, simply for picking up the rusty dust. Darn it, there's another one. What if I can change the spawn rate of these fuckers? They are way too common. Can I put these in there? No. I can pick them up, though. Put my low fertility soil in there. And keep doing what we were doing. Which is really just suffering, unfortunately. Well, yeah, a volley have a racial bonus, or species bonus, that allow them to move extra fast. Rust mages have a bonus that allow them to move extra fast. And then I've got movement speed set to slightly faster. So basically I'm zooming. Come on. Of course, being fast does not help if I have to stop every 10 seconds to kill one of these fucking things. You don't know what a rust mage is? Nope, I can't hold that in my offhand. Can't hold that in my offhand. Just eat the raw grain. Get that out of my inventory. Put that on the ground somewhere I won't lose it. Obviously that was a joke. But I need to hurry up with my charcoal pit. If I don't get this thing made, I'm never going to get this thing made. Basically, the world of Vintage Story is like stuck in a weird rust-based eldritch horror. It's World of the Drifters. Aw, there goes my axe. And I can't get up there to get my logs and shit. Unless I fill her up with dirt. Oh. So it's not like normal rust, it's like supernatural rust. I'll be back with another axe. Or I can make that now. I do have to put these crystals in my house, which will risk more of those darn creatures spawning. Give me a second. Alright. That sneeze can't sneak up on me. Okay, crystal. Crystal. Let's go ahead and create another axe. Shovel. Here we go. Who doesn't like magical rust? Except for, I suppose, all of the inhabitants of this world. Since the rust is pretty bad for you. Boom, boom. Gah, my nose. Oh, sweet. If I can find a rift and safely get my temporal stability down to 0, I can unlock magic course, doing so will make me a more attractive target to those damn flying creatures. Well, they seem to be spotting me easily enough without me having my own monopool. Well, rust is just kind of something that happens. Are you alive? Yes. Oh, I'll leave you alone then. Whoop. There should be enough wood to finish my charcoal pit. Of course, it's going to take a while for the charcoal to finish. Which means we're going to have to turn our focus to other things. Perhaps collecting earthworms? My main focus right now requires the charcoal. Alright, charcoal pit crafted. Let's go grab my dirt. Let's also start placing these chert stones so I can collect more worms. Life is an endless series of placing and picking up stones. Boom, boom. Whoops. Once upon a time, placing a bunch of rocks would actually spawn-proof the area. I don't know, you could place an entire pile of rocks like that. That is good to know. Like if I was just doing this for storage reasons, that would be handy. Let's see here. Got dried grass. Now I've got soil. Let's go ahead and bury some logs. Not like digging a tree, just, you know, burying logs normal. Not shit logs. I don't know if I'm being too cautious, but I would also like the charcoal pit to not fail. There we go. Charcoal pit. Charcoal pit. Yeah, it is unfortunate how easy rust comes about. You ever try to maintain like a ship out on the ocean? Boats really don't like to be out there, and that's like their one purpose. Alright, charcoal pit lit. There we go, better be over cautious than sorry. And now what will we focus on? 1 second. Alright. Not a whole lot I can do without metal. And everything I'm doing is working towards the creation of metal. What is rift activity? Apparently it's calm, which is unfortunate, because now I actually want a rift. Going to be pretty dangerous doing what I'm trying to do. On account of my tiny Avali health pool. Let's go and look around for berries. White currant. I do have multiple hours before the charcoal pit is done. We could always sail south a little bit. Look for cool new things I've not seen before. We'll just have to remember to come back up north. Of course, that does sound pretty dangerous. What with me not having a good amount of food? Wild that these ruins just don't have anything in them. Why have ruins at all? Oh sweet, some free berries. Raccoon must have picked these berries and then been scared off by me. I don't particularly care for red currant. I prefer black and white. Or black and red. Black and red is more goth. But black and white is more aesthetically pleasing. You know what I mean? I could just be rambling though. Perhaps those of us who are saying the most words are saying the least of all. That's a lot of lead. Let's see here. That just contains 2 extinguished torches. That's got a good amount of dry grass in it. One of them contains a bunch of larch. No, like, chest, though. Even when I find ruins, I find, like, the worst ruins. I will take this. Yoink. Yeah, pretty shitty cave. Oh. Oh. Perhaps in my overly tired state, I should just be appreciating the beauty of this game. Or my logs. Or not my logs. Probably put this one closer. There we go. And then find the one I put out here. As much as I joked that I'm setting it down somewhere I won't lose it, I don't know where it is. I doubt I've already lost it. But not knowing where it is a similar state. There it is. Yoink. I feel like shit. Hopefully I'm not coming down with something. I was like just sick a couple months ago. And boom. Damn. I need some kind of food. I guess I can try to eat snake meat. If I can find a snake. Probably placed these too recently. Couldn't put them back. The ones up on the upper shelf have probably been placed long enough. I could really use a lantern. There's fire in my face. It's extremely distracting. Also, for such an Arctic species... Hello, Vicar. Spicy tortilla chips are pretty different to grapes. Reminds me of this thing I saw recently. Where somebody was like DoorDashing some groceries, and what they wanted were baby carrots, but I guess they were out of baby carrots, so their DoorDasher replaced them with a 16-ounce Monster Energy drink. You know, not what they asked for, or even similar. It's like, oh, that's a reasonable substitution. Oh, hello, Opal. Now, 1 second. I think I'm dying, everyone. This is it for me. This time my life ends for real. Or I'm just exhausted, not feeling great. It's almost like I didn't sleep. Like, pretty much at all. Don't know what could have caused that, though. I've actually only had one monster. I'm trying to conserve them. It's mostly true. Right, let's go and get my dirt, my hoe, and my worms. Here's my dirt. Here's my hoe, which is almost broken. Gonna have to make another one of those. It is nice being able to just jump out of 2-block deep holes. Damn, MVP. My hoe survived. Put 2 in each hole. Speed up their production. So what do you think of my small animal corpses? Oof. Can't imagine being out of salsa. Salsa is delicious. Put that on my wall real quick. I hate these Rustbound Magic enemies. I know they're self-inflicted, but it's not like both ones don't also annoy me. Oh, are those ovulated? Hell yeah. There you go, pond. Live long and prosper. Unfortunately, my volley is so short that jumping into like 1-block holes or 1 block of water is enough to extinguish my torch. Which means I'm going to have to actually make a lantern or get around to making mana torches faster than I did last time. Now, where's my firewood? Yoink. Doesn't that sound delicious? 1 serving of fish stew with red currants. Yeah. The mod doesn't have the right colors, so I'm playing as a slightly darker Revali. Or actually, this shade of grey is lighter than the shade of grey I actually use. But I don't have access to the dark blue that makes up the primary color of my Revali. So I have to make do. But it's fine. Country girls make do. From that awful corn meme. Those of you who know what I'm talking about probably wish I did, or you didn't. I might be a little bit stupid. But it is what it is. Stupid is the name of the game. Let's go. My fish stew. 1 serving, of course. I'm but a poorly bird and can only afford so much food. No, it's not very filling. Oh, let's take a nap. You don't need to remove the spice, you need more spice. Is that chip too hot? And chase it down with a... Oh yeah, so instead of sleeping, since my housemate was out of town for a bit, I live streamed some Hollow Knight Silksong. Ended up going for almost 5 hours. But towards the end, it was like 14 hours past my bedtime, so I was a little bit loopy. As is to be expected. Right, these should really be growing faster, so let's go ahead and put more fertilizer. It's slow release fertilizer. So unlike real life, I don't need to worry about using too much of it. At least until they fix it. Until you can over-fertilize your crops. And I hope they don't. That sounds like too much to keep track of. Any fish? No. I mean, there's a fish. Its weight is probably low. Hurry, crops, grow faster. Somebody blocked you last stream? What happened? Get over here. Is my charcoal pit done? I don't think it is. But we're pretty much waiting on that so that we can make some progress. Nope, you can see the smoke rising out from the cracks in the dirt. It's not done yet. I suppose I can make a second attempt at getting some worm, or not worm. Sweet worm. Which means I can get the real thing I'm looking for, which is snake meat. Who doesn't like a good meaty snake? Oh, that snake. Damn, I did not do a lot of damage. And this pit viper probably doesn't have a lot of meat. One piece, or 2 pieces. The 2 piece is real. I've not watched One Piece, but I think that's what it's about. Set you down. Bring my chart back down. Not that. Chart. Whatever, doesn't matter where it is. Come on. What, no more snakes? That's fine. I'm tired of all these motherfucking snakes on this motherfucking plane anyway. God, I'm tired. Oh yeah. No, depressed people tend to really like spicy food. Oh no, I fucking love that shit. Sometimes it's nice to feel pain. Reminds you that you're still alive. Whoops. No. That being said, spicy food should taste good. I've had some spicy food that is like, this doesn't taste like anything. It just tastes like torture. Don't get me wrong, I see the appeal of. I'm not personally a fan. Alright. I'm gonna see if my old printer scanner works. I need to send to Google a scan of the front and back of my ID so they can actually pay me. I've been collecting money through AdSense, but I've finally made enough that they'll actually pay out a little bit. I don't think they'll pay out. I think I can set up a payment method though. WMD are just my initials. There's the name my father gave me, which I don't go by. There's the name I technically go by, but not online. And then there's the name I go by online. If you watch my older videos, I used to open them with, "Hello YouTube and welcome to Storyteller William Methuselah Dalton Plays," or whatever. Of course, I don't use that name too often anymore. It's like a lesser secret dead name. One that I don't particularly mind being called. I just don't go by it online. Let's go with brown coal. What button am I even pushing? Who knows? Cranberry bush. I miss wildcraft fruit and nuts. I have to be careful because there are wolves here. I wish I could hold shift to slowly descend like I can in Minecraft. I've got boosted jump height and a little bit of extra fall distance reduction on account of being an Avali. Nobody looks at M and immediately guesses Methuselah. The person that I'm related to, who was not a good person, who went by Bill. His name was Mason, but his middle name was like Marion or something. So his name was like Bill Marion Dalton, but his real name was Mason Marion Dalton. He didn't have any kids though. Oh damn, I spent how long looking for blue clay, and there's a ton of it more right here. That does tend to be how this works out. I'm related to multiple bad people. I'm primarily French. And the French are bad people. I am mostly joking. But I can make these jokes. Because A, I'm French, and B, it's the French. Who cares? Give me a second. Alright, now I'm dying. Can I pick these up? Or is it too early? Oh, Viper. Oh, there goes my weapon. I think it's dead. I need more snake meat. Oh no, I've been going by William long enough that at least in California, common law, it is legally my name. So if somebody actually wants to get my attention, they don't talk to me, or they don't call me by my dead name. Where's my cooking pot? Here it is. Let's go ahead and make some snake meat stew. Just long enough to avoid death. No matching recipe found. Unfortunate, I cannot add more red currants. Just something to make this more filling. Is Rift activity still calm? It totally is. What the hell is this? Oh, it's my vanity options. Unfortunately, clothing is not working or modeled yet for the Avali model. Ow. So if you're playing Vintage Story with any Avali, they will be nudists. Not voluntarily, unfortunately. Baby raccoon. I wish I could just pick it up. Nope, no more snakes. It's fine. No. The only game I don't tell... Or the only game. The only name I won't tell people, because I don't go by it, is the name my father gave me. Most people don't call me William. Everyone online just calls me Satu. But everybody in Meat Space will call me William. Only a handful of people calling me Satu. Come on, grow faster! Meat Space is IRL. The internet used to be called cyberspace. I don't think anybody still calls it that. But if online is cyberspace, real life is meat space. At least until we get more meat online. Dang it. I could really use more cordage and stuff. This is, of course, still going. I don't have the satiety needed to go on full adventures. Let's go and drop off some stuff I don't actually need on my travels. Eat some soup. Eat it! Eat the stew! No, I don't have a biogender. I was created in a lab. It's when my father named me with a name I don't use. Oh, sweet, a rock. I think I've said before that I don't exist. I'm just a figment of everyone's collective imagination. Add that to the Satu wiki page that does not exist. Oh, sweet, a fish. I wanted to go out on an adventure. But I guess I will be forever stuck here. Cutting up fish. Alright, place all my firewood down. Good, it's hot enough to relight itself. I'm dying. I say a lot of wild shit, so it would be fun to have somebody document it all. Hello, Inger. Are you done cooking yet? Come on, fish. Earthworm castings. There we go. I need more storage. But I also need more cattails for cordage. So if I had more cattails, and I don't, I would probably use it to make fishing lines. I wish I could put this shit on the ground. Oh, I totally can. More ground storage, let's fucking go. Can't put the jerky on the ground, though. Earthworm castings? Nope. Oh, look at that, I got more cattails. I don't know how I forgot that was in there. I guess I'm just really stupid. My father still lives in the same state that I do. I can't afford to leave. Only reason that one of my siblings was able to leave the state was because he moved in with a relative. And then my sister moved in with her husband. And I moved in with a coworker. Right, how do I actually make steaks? Like for fishing. Oh, he's just not the most accepting person, and all four of us are some flavor of queer. Hello, the man. He's been coming around to it, I think, but he is also still Republican. Oh great, I'm under attack. I don't have a weapon, could you go away? I don't even have enough rocks to throw at him. Is my chocolate bit done? My chocolate bit might be done. Of course I'm under attack. By a jerk. How's everybody in YouTube chat doing? Alright, let's go and make a flint spear. Do I have sticks? I do. Good, good. Flint knife. It would be nice if I could just explore without all this bullshit going on. I actually think that Vintage Story is more fun without the monsters, because it's like a vibe survival experience. But if I turned the monsters off, somebody would complain. That and these, the most annoying of monsters, actually do have some pretty good drops. I think it's gone. Well, let's figure out how to make a wooden stake. And if I can actually make fishing hooks. I can make them out of bone. Probably not the bone that I've got. No, I can't make them out of the bone that I've got. Which is fine. Granite, andesite. I can use granite. I think there's granite in the area, but I don't have any granite stone. Ow. Who put that sharp plant there? Here we go. That would be nice if, like, everyone's parents could be more accepting of who they are as people. It's not a very good excuse, but it is true that, for the most part, they all grew up in a very different generation. Of course, there have always been queer people. As long as there have been people, there have been queer people. Well, it just depends on how accepting that those people around them are. Alright. I'm going to need more sticks to make the tongs. Oh, more fish. And throw that up in there. Let's go ahead and stack my fish. Preserve the ones I've got slightly longer. Where's my copper? Oh, it's just been on me this entire time. Alright. Go ahead and throw that in there. I need sticks. I need sticks I can actually fucking reach. I think as long as nobody's getting hurt, just do whatever the fuck. The problem is that a bunch of long dead white people were like, oh, but God wouldn't like that. It's like, who the fuck is God? Actually, I don't think I need more sticks. I'm just doing it. For as long as there has been organized religion, there have been a bunch of old white people trying to use it to tell other people what they can and cannot do with their own lives. There are some extremist examples in the other direction. I think that religion is fine as long as you're only concerned with what you can do and not what others can do. At that point, it's stupid. Tongs made. Where's my firewood? Oh, I'm going to babysit this so I don't waste more firewood than necessary. Also, to clear my throat again, I hope I'm not coming down with something. Boom! Let's also bring my pickaxe mold inside. It does not rain here very often, but if it does rain, it would fuck up my shit. There we go. I like how I'm like, oh, I'm going to have to babysit that. Hello, Pocket! I just put the fish back in the fish trap. Fish is like, well, this is weird. Is my fish bait bugged out so that the fish aren't actually consuming it? I mean, if it is, that only benefits me. But it's not supposed to be happening, so I should probably look into it. I've just got Infinibait in there. Right, that's not come up to temp yet. It goes alright. For some reason, I did not get nearly enough sleep yesterday. Yeah, bait has a chance to not be consumed, but I've not had to replace that the entire time I've been streaming, and I've already been live for a bit. Usually the bait is consumed before I even catch a fish. I'm gonna pop some tags. Only got $20 in my pocket. I'm dying. Give me a second. I meant to find out how to make steaks. Whoop, not steaks like that. Steak is just a knife and a stick. Pretty easy. I can use this to make weird traps, I believe. No. No, I believe I can make weird traps with steaks. For some reason, I thought it was like a different type of steak. I just have to orient it correctly, I believe. Listen to all those bugs. I usually go north instead of south, so like I almost never get this number of bugs. Go and give me these. I've got the tongs on. Good, good. Yoink. I'm gonna come in here. Oh, they changed it so you actually hold it in the tongs. That's a good change. Used to be that you just kind of had to have the tongs on your person, but you held it in your hands. Super realistically. Now, if I'm correct, then there is granite around here somewhere. Instead of just chert. I can use that to make some fishing hooks. Nope, they're both still baited. I don't know if meowing at the fish helps. Oh yeah. I could make some hearty fish stew. It would be nice if I had some more wild crops. There we go. I don't have any firewood to throw in there. Let's go ahead and correct that. The Valley subside almost entirely on fish. Yapalo was not uninhabited per se, but it basically had no life above the ice until the Avali showed up to eat all the life below the ice. As Avali are wont to do. Yoink, look at that. 2 servings of hearty fish stew. And 432 protein saturation. 120 fruit. Beautiful. Who doesn't like fish stew? I love fish stew. Kala is the Finnish word for fish. Javali means ice. Well, Javali specifically means ice gap. But the Yapalo Avali call themselves that. Because they're cold and distant. Is my running joke anyway. The Avali actually aren't more independent than regular Avali, but they are more reserved. Because Avali are pack creatures. Which means that Satu, traveling alone by themselves all the time, should be depressed as fuck. And believe me, they are. Right, any loose granite? Oh, this is peridotite. This is like my least favorite stone. I think I can make fish hooks out of it, though. What? 1 second. Right, I live. There's a lot of meteoric iron around here, actually. And peridotite will work for making fish hooks. Alright. It saves me the trouble of having to go find granite. I don't like the look of peridotite. on account of it being green. I'm fine with green in nature, like, don't get me wrong, I like plants and whatnot. But that's just not a color that I would wear. If you look at my Minecraft skin, though, the one that you can see if I'm not Navali, there is green on their coat thing. But that's because their coat is the Voidpunk flag, which unfortunately does have green on it. I could have not made the mage coat the Voidpunk flag. But when I made the skin, that was just the mood I was in. Just make sure that whatever you're making is not completely illegal. Cattails. Ooh. Razors, race cars, aeroplanes. I think I'm dying. This is a pretty weird pit. I wonder if there's space rock down there. Probably not. Some people can just look at a crater and correctly identify it as a meteorite spot. I can't. So unless there's chunks of meteoric iron sitting on the surface, I'll never find it. Are you cool yet? Yoinky sploinky. Alright, let's go get some peridotite to make my fishing rods. Not fishing rods, fishing hooks. I would love a proper fishing mod. Alas, I've yet to see such a thing. Hopefully somebody brings one back on account of fishing being... or not fishing, sailboats being vanilla now. The team even modified default world generation to include like 3% ocean, which is not a lot of ocean. Can I make a quern out of peridotite? Yep, I can. I don't want a peridotite quern, but I really need a quern, so I should probably suck it up. Alright. My favorite material to use is basalt, but I've not seen any of that yet. I don't know that I've seen that picture, Opal. That's just too green. 1 second. Polished peridotite is more green. I'm going to be able to make so many fish hooks with this. I should also probably use some of the durability on this pick to go get all the surface copper deposits. My favorite shade of green, I've actually shared before on my Tumblr. It's like a weird eucalyptus green. If you find like one of my old Minecraft videos, from back when the Technic Pack was still popular, I show off the color palette I'm trying to work with to get other people's opinions. Alright, it should be enough to make a quern. Although I do think I now need more things to make a quern. Like, it's not just some sticks and rock like it used to be. Any fish? Nope. And my fish trap's no longer baited. That's what I get for saying something. It's just like a string of good luck. Delicioso. Let's see here. What am I doing? Paradite quern. Yep, I now need a hammer and chisel, which I don't remember needing in the past. Yeah, eucalyptus. I don't know if that's how you spell it. It's the shit koala bears eat. So just Google what do koala bears eat, and then copy and paste that. Would work. So much. Napping. Suddenly there came a tapping, as of someone gently napping. Napping on my dirt shack floor. "'Tis a Navali," I said, and nothing more. I'm dying. It's a good thing you can't accidentally fuck up napping. Because if you could, I would have by now. A couple times. Boom, 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 boom. You use the word eucalyptus a lot. 1 second. Do you use the word eucalyptus a lot? Or do you use the method of Googling something you know is related? Oh, the product. That makes sense. I thought you were also privy to my strat. Of just Googling something related to the thing you're actually looking for. Because you know it'll appear somewhere in the search results. Something of a super genius strategy. Why is Rift activity always calm? Now that I'm trying to become a Rust mage. I'm dying. I like asking people nonsensical questions. Like, why are they called piñatas if they're not even made out of pineapple? Well, hell yeah, some rye is mature. Can't help but notice that my crops aren't growing very quickly. What did I fertilize you for? SMH my head. Alright, well, I suppose we'll just wait for me to figure out what I should be doing to make progress. I need excessive amounts of flax. Gotta go pretty deep. Let's go grab my torch. Yoink. If I'm going to need a hammer and chisel, I'm going to need quite a bit more resources. I suppose I don't need to make a quern yet, but I want to. Being able to make flour is integral to my survival. Medium copper ingot. Oh, by the way, I'm able to crawl through 1-block gaps. Might be stuck on calm. I mean, I am on 1.21.5. So that could be the issue. That being said, if you watch my first ever series on this game... Oh, interesting. What button did I push to stick my head through the ceiling like that? Anyway, I messed with the config files. So Rift activity was actually apocalyptic, like 80% of the time. It was fun stuff. Do I ever feel like a sloth? Not particularly. Oh, dang it, I just remembered something. I also need a hammer. And I'm 5 nuggets short from being able to do that. I'm going to have to either hope that there is some more surface copper around here that I somehow missed, or pan for 5 nuggets of copper. But once I've got the hammer, I've clearly got a good supply of copper. I should probably not let take up more than 1 full inventory spot. Oh, dang. I can't jump while crouching, so unfortunately I can't jump squeeze through blocks like that. Which is fine. Oh, I constantly feel like I'm tired. Hello there, Kaizen. What does that say? Automata? My apologies, I can't read. Which textures? Oop, that's just my charcoal pit. I do think I'm dying. Dun, 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 dun. I need somewhere to put my chunks of copper. Whoop. Can I put these on the ground? I can. Excellent. Not a very large pile, but I totally can. Oh yeah, Vintage Story's got good textures. Hell yeah. Look at all my copper. I'm probably going to have to pan. I don't want to, but I probably have to. I can't even hold the torch while panning because I'm short enough that it will put the torch out. But I suppose it must be done. Let's go ahead and make a hammer mold, not a health hammer. Actually, if I'm not holding my torch while I do this, it will drain my hunger slightly slower. There we go. Just fill in the space. Fill in the space. I don't know if it's obvious, but I am not doing great. My health is at an all-time low. I'm probably just tired. Alright. Is that enough grass? I might need more grass. Alright, no. That was fortunately just enough grass. And I don't feel like waiting, so... Whoops. Let's accidentally open a new instance of Firefox. What the hell is that? If I'm lucky, death is just around the corner. I've been alive long enough. What is my peat? There was a large amount of peat somewhere around here. Although I do think a lot of it did burn up in the fire. Which would be funny if I didn't need that. Excellent. 1 second. Alright, let's go. Gotta go fast. I'm Sonic. Oh, I'm American. So, that's pretty much a mood. Alright. Put these over here. Gotta go re-grab my torch. Light this shit up. And then I suppose while we wait, I can show off panning. There you go. Smack that there. Do I have a log? Nope. Put those away. If I was my axe, I would presumably be mostly broken somewhere. Alright, pit kiln, don't set my stack of firewood on fire. That's my hoe. That's my spear. No, that's my ore. Where's my axe? Did I break it? Probably broke it. Could have just set it down somewhere. But if I did that, where? It's by the firewood. Oh, somehow I didn't see it. I'm not suicidal, no. Although we can't use that word and stay monetized. How the fuck did I miss that? I'd have to say I'm not unalival or something equally stupid. Like, don't get me wrong, I'm ready to die. But the universe is going to have to grow a pair and kill me itself. Yoink. No more seeds. I swear the trees in this game just do not want to continue their survival. Trees in real life drop their seeds with such regularity that, like... Not what I'm trying to make. There we go. Well, like in the spring, half the pollen in the air is just like tree jizz. What am I doing? Other than talking about tree jizz. We need a reliable way to get rid of these astral gears. They could be used for something. But since I don't know what that something is, they're practically useless to me. Unbelievably sad. No, I'm totally fine. Oh, what is this? Anyway, let's go ahead and start panning. What the? The water just pushed me out of it. Apparently, I cannot pan in the body of water that I am collecting sand from. For bullshit reasons. So let's just collect some sand and bring it to a different body of water. That should be enough to get 5 chunks of... Or, it's probably not. I just need 5 little nugs. I'm gonna place these down out here on account of my short stature. Yes. Oh, well, I live in the United States. I can't afford any of that shit. I should probably have my copper somewhere I can see it, so I can see when I've got 5 nuggets and can stop this. Damn, look at that. Oh, I did already get 2 nuggets. This might not take nearly as long as I'm hoping it won't. Dang, no, this might actually be pretty damn fast. Getting superhuman panning luck. Although with my luck, I'm going to get to 19. And then not get another chunk for like 70 minutes. Let's go. Like to charge, reblog to cast. Oh, sweet. I don't think I've ever gotten that much copper that quickly while panning. But I'm not here to look a gift horse in the mouth. My hammer mold is not done yet. So I guess we'll just continue panning. It's something to do. Fish. Where'd the fish go? Did it escape as I was trying to pick it up? Or am I blind? Nope, there, I'm blind. It's in the first slot. I'm used to them popping up in my backpack. Boom, 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 boom. Look at all these flies. It's just not something I usually have to put up with. Put that back down. I'll smash you here. We'll create a single serving of fish stew. It's barely food. But it's my barely food. I don't believe so, no. Come on. Light it up. 1 second. Alright, let's go. I don't need to make 7 steaks. Why do I make 7 steaks? I guess I could do it the old-fashioned way. I'll put 4 in this lake, since this is the lake I'm actually fertilizing. And then I'll put 3 in this lake, since I'm barely using this one at all, and it might even have a larger population of fish. Send out the cordage. I will eventually have some stuff to make these more attractive to fish. No, pick that back up. That way. Fish can't resist my unbaited, don't even have a lure fish hooks. That's not true. But all I gotta do is find like an animal I can kill, and then boom, I can make more jerky and actually bake these traps. Could also try to catch more worms. Boom, fish stew. Not even a good one. And place it down though. And I'm still waiting on that, and so let's go ahead and just do a bit of panning. I wonder how long it would take to pan enough fucking copper, like just from panning, to make an anvil. You need 900 units. And it did not take me that long to get the 5. But that's only like 20 units. 25. Problem with even trying to do the math for something like this. Well, I used to be medicated for my ADHD, but it didn't work. rate might have worked. It was more similar to depression, though. Like, instead of my usual state of always bored but easily entertained, I was always bored, and there was just nothing I could do about it, which sucked. Can't remember what I was prescribed with. I asked my mother, and she can't remember. I could probably ask my father, but I also don't care enough. What you're supposed to do if one isn't working is, like, try a different one. But I can't afford to do that now anyway. Oh, sweet, a single piece of flint. Don't mind if I dizzity-do. My luck. No. I've got no insurance whatsoever. I'm pretty sure I've brought that up before. But it's not like you can actually do anything with insurance, so it's just a scam. Must get more copper. Go the fuck away, bot. Come on. Damn, I got really lucky with those first 5 pieces of copper, apparently. Because I proceeded to get fuck all. Was that blue clay something I've been getting while panning, or is that just something that's been in my inventory taking up space this whole time? Might as well set that down. Are you done yet? Which would tell me how long it's got. Instead of me having to do all this guesswork. And let's go ahead and grab my spear. Which, to be fair, should always be in my inventory in case I need it. Has it been long enough that I can get worms? Yes, it has. These worms will be very handy in baiting the traps. Yoink. A lot of worms. Looks like I've turned the luck up to 7,000. I did mess with some config files, but not for the base game. I'm messing with the config for Rustbound Magic. Are you dead? No, poor thing. And creature weight, decent. Oh dang, 3 pieces of meat. It's not bad. I can make a single serving of hearty stew with that shit. Ack. Alright, wormlock seems to have already worn off. Nope, stop it. Come on. Not everybody who's placing rocks is trying to nap. Although this is not a vanilla feature. The earthworms. How long have I been without insurance? Since I turned 26. But I've not been using it since well before that. And I've not seen a doctor since I was 17. No, it was 13 years ago. Oh, they're asking a lot of really personal questions, Opal. Gotta talk about vintage story and all the fun we're having placing rocks. Yes. I've never had faith in the American healthcare system. It is pretty provably a scam. Can I have these? There we go. Boom. Damn it. Fuck all in these rocks. Oh well. I've got more than enough worms to bait my traps. Or not traps. My fish lines. Urgh. Boom ba-doom. Now, I'll see a doctor when I move to Finland or something. Escape the US. Hard mode. Oh, come on. Nothing bought my... Not bought. Nothing bit my totally unbaited traps? Fall for it. Fish. Surely these bait, or the flies, should just count as like a sort of free pseudo bait. They just land on the hook and then the fish bites and boom. I'm home free. Right, I'm going to have to babysit the fish line, like the fish hooks. Because if a fish swims into the fish trap, it'll stay fresh for a good bit. If a fish bites one of the hooks, it's fresh for like 8 minutes. Alright, is this done yet? No. Damn it. Damn it! I just want my hammer. Stop the hammer time. How many... No, it's all outside. Fucking door. There we go. Got like 36 of these. Oh yeah, I've got a good bit of copper. And there's actually more underground. I just stopped because I need a hammer. Oh great. It's one of those annoying floaty things. Sentries, I believe they are called. I don't know what time it is, but we will hopefully have a quern before the end of this episode. Hello, Celeste. The bird is indeed at it again. Just trying to fix my food situation by catching a ton of fish. And I'm waiting for my hammer mold to finish because I forgot I needed one, I think. Yeah, I forgot I needed one. How are you doing? Hello, Dracogene. So I'm just making some progress. I'm sitting around as a little bird with glowing eyes. 16 days, long seasons. I believe I've got months set to 12 days in-game. My volley is cold-hardy, but my food isn't. Excuse me. Technically, if I'm willing to, like, engage in some shenanigans, you can continue to catch fish, even in, like, the dead of winter. No, it is very short. It's a bit of a mixed bag. You've got longer to prepare for winter, but winter also lasts a hell of a lot longer. Are you done? Holy shit. Waiting for things takes way too long. Why can't your character just sleep for longer? It's like, oh, you can only sleep for 7.5 hours on this shitty-ass bed. And it's like, yeah, but I should be able to just go back to bed. Sure, there's a bunch of shit I should be doing. Who needs a sling? I've got a spear. Only the one, though, so I can't throw it. Honestly, those sentries are getting pretty annoying. I genuinely do prefer Vintage Story without the monsters. Since, like, it's a very chill, vibes-based survival game without them. But if I didn't have the monsters, somebody would complain. And since I've still got Rustbound Magic, those sentries drop useful things. Bum ba dum bum 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 bum. Not to mention, if you are going to explore the Resonant Archives, it's a lot more interesting if it's full of monsters. I've explored the Resonant Archives a couple times now, but I've never done it on a stream or in a video. So who knows, perhaps this will be the playthrough that fixes that, although unlikely, on account of all the stupid I'm doing. Bum, ba, bum. Look at all of this clay. Whoop. Perfect. I'm gonna have to fire this as well, but I won't need it for a tiny bit longer. Which one of these has less stuff in it? You. A crook I'll probably never use, since I'm always on the verge of starvation. Bum ba dum bum. Bum ba dum. I can't remember how much grass I actually need. Is it 12? 16? Right, it was 10 apparently. Now I need multiple sticks. I have 0 sticks. Oh yeah, I turned all of my sticks into steaks. That'll be an issue. Yeah, I've got flax growing. This world remains mostly ocean, though. It's mostly rye, spelt. I do have flax in here. Although if I continue to deal with shifting fibers by harvesting and replanting this dust, or rust, is useless. But the shifting fibers, in large amounts, can be turned into linen. No, I put land scale down to 30. So only 30% of this world is land. Everything else is ocean. I was joking about setting it to slightly more than 0%, so that the only things that spawn on land are story dungeons. Dang it. They ate one of my worms. Don't they know that I'm a starving bird? Oh yeah, I was looking for sticks. How quickly I get distracted by literally anything. Canoe mod? I don't have it, no. I used to have Joy of Sailing. Might look into the canoe mod. Although it is funnier using a raft to get around everywhere. And perhaps a bit impractical. Oh yeah, if I'm going to have a bunch of maple trees around, I should look into making spiles. You have to boil it first, making it not the best food source. But it's basically free. I can make maple syrup. I believe birch syrup doesn't even need to be boiled before you can eat it. But then it has to have birch trees around, and birch trees are gross. Alright. Should be enough sticks, at least for what I'm doing. Let's go ahead and grab some more peat, just in case. No issues yet. But I've still not even made a quern, which is what I'm making my way towards. Get rid of that. I also still need to make another mixing bowl. But so far, the saucepan works exactly as it should. I have another mixing bowl made, I just haven't fired it. And so much pottery. Whoop, whoop. Alright. I need more inventory space. Sweet, sweet. Those are almost certainly going to be caught in the crossfire if I light it where it is. Alright. Now, I prefer to play on servers where I've got people who are actually interested in things like building and mining. Because my interests lie almost exclusively in, like, farming, care for livestock, taking care of orchards, and just cooking food. You wouldn't guess by my pitiful farm that I've currently got set up. But I do actually really like farming in this game. Now I've got a tool, or I've got a mod called KCQC, something like that, Chisel Tools. Which makes chiseling more interesting. The hell? I haven't seen just a straight drifter in a while. Unless it's a gay drifter. I don't know, I haven't asked. Rest in pieces, dumbass. Let's see here. Nothing? Almost not worth checking. When's the last time a drifter actually had any loot on it? Can I put spelt grain in here? No. Gods forbid I be allowed to use some of the few resources I've actually got. And querns are extremely useful. Are mortars? Damn it. Fucking door. Is a mortar and pestle a thing you can make? Well, I guess you can. Well, it's from the alchemy mod. Can I use this to make dough, though? What? I think there is a mod that lets you make ground dough with mortar and pestle. Well, it's just not this one, unfortunately. I guess you're making flour. You add water to make dough. A recall potion. If it's anything like the recall potion in Terraria, then I already know how that works, and that does indeed sound useful. Whoops. Chug, chug, chug. Oh, sweet. Rift activity is medium. Fucking door. How'd it go? Alright, let's see if we can't find a rift to stand in for a little bit. Now's not a very safe time to do it. I should probably wait until morning, but who knows if morning will ever come. Obviously morning's going to come, but I mean like, rift activity has been calm for the last 7,000 years. Honk me. I do think I'm coming down sick, which is unfortunate because I was like just sick. I don't know if you can eat pine cones. You can eat pine cones if you have the Wildcraft Fruit and Nuts mod. It's one of my favorite features. Oh, sweet, a fish. Fresh for 2 days. Too bad I need salt to make fish jerky. It's a bit cheap, but if I make fish jerky, I can just use fish as bait for more fish. Cooks in 2. I love fermented fish slop. Yeah, fish jerky requires salt. Which is unfortunate. It nerfs it heavily. I should also just be able to eat the raw fish. Come on, I'm a bird. Let me eat the raw fish. What's rift activity? Still medium. Let's throw this here. See if I can't find a rift. Smack that there. Oh my goodness, I'm dying. Lights fading. For rock times. Unfortunately, with primitive survival, there is a much easier way to get salt that just requires I have a barrel and free time. Oh yeah, that's what I'm looking for. Of course, I would respawn pretty far from here, so a dangerous game I'm playing, but I shouldn't die from a tiny bit of temporal instability. You don't get a very good return on investment using fish to bait fish. Oh hey, it's Dave! Dave is actually the name of my landlord. So if that wasn't the case, it would probably be cooler to have Dave hanging out. Anyway, there we go. Of course, this does make me a more attractive target to those annoying-ass flying enemies. Dave, help me. I like running around with 0 stability, but unfortunately dangerous monsters have a chance of blinking into existence. Alright. My stability slowly raises. Flax fibers. Alright, I do think it's back above the point, where I should be safe. I'm not going to get any nightmare drifters showing up. I should be. I really like farming deep underground, so I tend to play with temporal stability off, although I need it for Rustbound Magic. Just gonna bring this fucker inside. Smack that fucker down. Grab my fish. Smack this fucker in here. I should probably keep my swearing to a sort of minimum. I am monetized after all. Only just. Oh, that would be pretty cool for my undergrounder lifestyle. Usually when I play the game, I live in like the frozen north, where the only place you can grow crops is underground, but only like in a couple of weeks during the summer. I put summer in massive air quotes. Since underground actually has seasons as well. Yeah, I always play with underground farming on. I may not be in the frozen north right now, but I usually am, so turning that on is a given. Alright. Gonna get some firewood. I don't know why I keep dropping my cordage. I've got enough firewood. That should be good. I'm just going to bring it up closer to temp, and then swap in some charcoal. Don't want to forget these. Although doing so would be a classic mistake. Probably make some anvil molds as well. Life is just like an infinite cycle of making shit. There are two classic blunders regarding the tongs. There's forgetting to pick them up until after you've already singed your hands off. And then there's forgetting that you've got the tongs in the offhand. So before you know it, you're like 40,000 blocks away from your base, and it's like, why the fuck am I still holding these? I tend not to do the second one too often, since I've usually got a lantern. But I don't think I bothered to make a lantern at all last season. I'm going to have to make tongs, which is... not tongs. What are they called? Ingot molds. Which is just more pottery. It is strange. Everything I love about Vintage Story is just more annoying if you're streaming. Because it's like, I want to do things, but everything takes time. Which, don't get me wrong, I love about it. But like, I need to be entertaining as well. Just do it like a cooking show, where every time I show something off, I've got another one already done I made off stream. Sounds like a pretty good way to burn through resources really quickly. And true, the modded Minecraft Bottle of Time would be very helpful. If not excessively OP. But like a bottle of time that stores time and then uses it to speed shit up would be pretty in the spirit of Vintage Story, since everything is time-based. Up to and including time travel. Put that back. Edited VODs. That sounds like a lot of work. I used to record and then edit and upload that. You know, like the classic YouTuber experience. But because I'm stressed out as fuck, a couple months ago I started live streaming pretty much every day. I think I've only missed like 2 days. Alright, won't need these until after I've already got an anvil, but let's go ahead and craft them now. Ba-ba-dum. You should totally start streaming. Well, I should warn you, getting any amount of viewers is not guaranteed. I've got regulars and they don't even always show up. Speaking of which, hello Penny. As nice as it is to get like a huge viewership, really all you need is a couple of good regulars. And a decent amount of lurkers. Lurkers are like these not kidneys. I mean, kind of like the kidneys. But they're kind of like the liver of any stream. They're doing a lot of heavy lifting, and you only really notice them when they're not around or not doing their job. You can survive without one of your 2 kidneys. Everybody needs a liver. Just like everybody needs lurkers. Although Twitch is cracking down on lurkers. I don't know if they've already fixed it, but I guess recently lurkers have not been counting as viewers at all. Which is kind of like horseshit. Some people will click on a stream and then just kind of listen to it in the background, including the ads. So if they don't count as views for the purpose of like AdSense or whatever, Twitch is just ripping off its streamers, which is nothing new. Alright, let's go ahead and bait these traps. I desperately need fish. Fish! The hitbox on these worm hooks is a bit strange. Indeed. Although honestly, even if somebody was to click on a stream and then just completely walk away so they're not engaging with the ads at all, well, I think they should still count as a viewer. It is always morally okay to steal from ad agencies. When you do raid, I think that if you refresh the stream, you will still count as a viewer. Well, Twitch is a company like any other. Corporations are just scummy as a rule because that's how you make the most money. I mean, every company could probably run totally morally, but then their CEOs wouldn't be billionaires. And obviously the CEOs care more about being billionaires than being ethical. Which is why I think we should just start hunting billionaires for sport. It's probably not something I'm allowed to say, but who's ever going to have heard me say it? Rift. I'm gonna eat it. Eat the rift. I don't still have my pickaxe on me. What did I do with that? I mean, you shouldn't eat the rich. Or at least not literally. I would imagine that they're full of, like, strange diseases that have no known cure. Right? Like, sure, movie stars, doctors, whatever. Anything over, like, $2 million a year, just tax 100%. Nobody needs that much money. Welcome back, Vicar. Oh yeah, so many of them have so much wealth. They could do so much good, but they're just sitting on more money than they could ever actually use. I'm trying to mine with a fucking rock. Like, why isn't this taking so long? Just smashing some peridotite into the copper ore. Like, mining suddenly got super difficult. Out of nowhere. I look around a tiny bit. But I can't justify mining too much. Alright. That's all that I'm willing to look around. Okay, that's probably it. Let's go ahead and head up. There's more surface copper I can collect. I've of course not seen any tin. So either I'm going to have to get really lucky. Tinkering develop further. I just wish that automation was taking, like, the boring jobs nobody wants to do. Like, nobody wants to be a dishwasher. If you could afford to survive and not have to be a dishwasher, I think everybody would pick that option. Meanwhile, we've got AI, like, writing movies. And stealing voice acting roles and whatnot. Instead of washing dishes. Just let the AI do what people don't want to do. And then leave the fun, like, art shit for the actual humans. And people like to shit on, like, content creators and, like, small influencers. That as soon as they're wealthy, they start making music, even if it's not good. But, like, that just means that when people's needs are met, they resort to creating art. And I personally think that that's a great thing. Good and bad is subjective. The world can never have enough art, but nobody can afford to make art. Because we live in a capitalist hellhole. And like, don't get me wrong, the free market's not the problem. It's the billionaires and shareholders doing everything they can to not spend money, and instead just try to like hoard it. Like, CEOs are awful, but just like the concept of a shareholder rubs me the wrong way. It's like, oh yeah, I own like 2% of your company, so I'm going to fuck it up royally. It's like, you can't do that. It's like, actually, all of us shareholders got together, and we decided that we just shouldn't pay your employees. You'll be fine with that, right? Boom. Well, like, what's funny, though, and like, I'm not defending communism. Communism on a large scale will never work. But like, everyone's like, oh, capitalism's the only way to do it. It's how we've always been doing it. And it's like, capitalism, at least how it works now, is extremely young. Like, it's new and it's already failing. But like, I'm even fine with paying more in taxes if my tax money was actually going towards shit I actually cared about. Like education and healthcare. In fact, I am paying for healthcare with my taxes. But because I'm employed and a young adult, like, I don't actually benefit from that healthcare. And I'm not saying that nobody should benefit from the healthcare that's being paid for with my taxes. I'm saying that I should also be benefiting from that shit. Like, we could afford to socialize medicine, but since it's for some reason treated as a business here in the US, they just won't do it. It would save millions of lives, and they refuse. Yeah, like, extremely small scale. Like, a commune can do fine, a commune can do great. But, like, a government cannot be communist. That's why it's failed every time. My political stance is somewhere between socialist and anarchist. What am I doing? Other than losing my mind. Hammer time! Got all these copper chunks I need to break down into nugs. How do I pick up large stacks at once? Whoops. Not like that. Just lurching forward. Oh yeah. Ba-da-ba-ba. I think the whole, like, war on Antifa is wild. Because anti-Antifa is just fascism. You can't be anti-fascist without being fascist. That's pretty simple. Although, Antifa's kind of like millennial. Where, like, even if it doesn't apply, they'll just slap the label on anything they don't like. It's like, oh, these damn young millennials are ruining the environment. It's like, fucking the youngest millennials are in their 30s. You can't keep saying millennial when you just mean teenager. That's like 2 generations divorced now. Can I put seeds on the ground? I can. Let's fucking go. Sweet. I should actually work on that. This is gonna be so expensive, and I have to break the mold when I'm done. Alright, let's go and make this anvil. Let's see here. I need 900 units, right? Boom, boom. So expansive. That'll do. What mods am I playing with? Well, I've got the usuals. I've got expanded foods, because I can't play without it. Primitive survival, because it's really good. Only way to get fish. Getting fish in this game without primitive survival sucks. I've got Rustbound Magic again, because I love ruining an otherwise perfectly good thing. And then I've got QC's chisel mods. And that's about it. Unfortunately, a lot of the mods that I usually play with are not updated to 1.21.5. I mean, mods would get a pass because they're adorable, but could you imagine trying to collect enough flax and linen to make like a sailboat? Or even a windmill? And then your moth buddies just keep eating your entire supply? It would be absurd. Yeah, we could just have Viker fertilize my crops for me. Easy peasy. I do think that you can have multiple modded races, species, whatever. No, with the player library mod. I don't know if it works on a server, though. I hope it would, but I've not checked. You can? Sweet. But it would be cool to have, like, a volley kobolds, yinglets. Hell, moths, why not? Yeah, pollinate, fertilize, it's the same basic thing. I mean, it's not, but I am dying. I got no sleep, because instead of sleeping yesterday, I streamed Hollow Knight Silksong for 5 hours. And I'm hopefully just exhausted, not coming down with something, because I was like just sick 2 or 3 weeks ago. I don't have the energy for this being sick all the time bullshit. Oh, that's rye. This is spelt. Oh yeah. I need more firewood. No, I'm good on firewood. I have no object permanence, so I keep forgetting this is here. I don't know if I've liked White Claw. I don't think I've tried it yet. I basically don't drink, and when I do drink, I really just do shots of vodka. Or I'll make screwdrivers without the soda water. I can imagine the soda water is only in screwdrivers, so that it more closely mimics a mimosa. But it's better without the bubbly. Stop ruining an otherwise perfectly good screwdriver by adding sparkling water to it. Alright. Nope, that one's not earthworm castings yet. My posture's fine, but I'll set up even more. Also gotta go sprinkle some fertilizer on my crops. How am I getting no fish? No fish whatsoever. I'm glad that over-fertilization is not a feature of this game yet. I'd have to pay attention to growing seasons. As soon as I also have to pay attention to the amount of fertilizer I apply, my crops will be just dead. Just like Isaac Newton. Isaac Newton is super dead. Let's go get more sticks. If I make a staff, which I can't remember how to do. Arachnus staff. That says Arcanus. Arcanus, am I right? You know, I've never been diagnosed with dyslexia, and I can read some pretty complicated words when I'm not tired. But who knows, maybe I am, to some extent, dyslexic. Tablet of Magician's Staff. Blank tablet. And it can be knapped to make thermatic foundry tablets. I need a wooden club, 1 rustic compound, 1 Ethereum, which I'm pretty sure is that bullshit that you, like, buy Bitcoin with, Mage Weave, normal, and then Primordial Fragments. Apparently the process to getting started in Rustbound Magic has changed, so I should probably figure out what that is before I start genuinely needing to interact with the mod. Oh, parsnips. Parsnips are also really good. Super cold, hardy crop. I'm heading south, so I have to deal with crops that do better in warm weather. But I'll eventually be heading back up north. Alright, that's probably enough sticks. Sticks. I saw one fall. Here we go. Ow, my neck. How are my berries doing anyway? What temperature is it? Wrong button. 23 degrees Celsius. That's way too fucking hot. No wonder nothing is doing well. Damn door. Also, I might as well do this. So perhaps my breaking of my door is just my desire to break shit. Oh, you can now stack sticks properly. I think I saw somewhere that in one of these updates they were making more ways you can store things on the ground. But I must have forgotten that I've seen that. Boom. You know what else I did? I think I put firewood in here. And then forgot I did that. I totally did. Weirdly enough, it maintained its heat pretty well. But I would have screwed that up if I hid away during the night. Wasted a small stack of firewood. How much longer will I be streaming? That's a great question. Not that much longer. It's already 7:11 in the morning and I've got work tonight, unfortunately. I want to try to get a quern made, but depending on how long that takes, I might not even accomplish that this stream. But as soon as I get a quern... Nope, I hear both on. I hate those things. Might as well run it down and kill it. Where's my fucking spear? I'm not surprised I lost my spear. But I don't think it broke. Who knows where it is? Might just have to make another one. Quern is like this little stone thing used for grinding wheat into flour. Or I guess any grain into flour. I can make another spear. But my point remains, what the fuck did I do with my other one? I'm at least pretty confident it hasn't broken. Like, I did break a spear, but the first thing I did was make another one. I probably left it leaning up against something. Oh great, I gotta go outside. Where are my sticks? Yoink. Just gonna craft this into a spear, so at least I'm armed. No, they didn't put flour into wheat. No, wheat is ground into a dust, and that dust is flour. I guess that both one got bored and left. Fine by me, I don't like dealing with those fuckers. But who put the wheat in the floor? Ow! Rude. Don't run away as soon as you get stabbed. Coward behavior. Nope. I do wonder why they do that. I just fold over. Start freaking out. Alright, good, it's dead. I heard that both on, so it presumably knows where I'm at. Oh, sweet. A flax fiber. I'll be able to make a raft before you... I mean, I already have a raft. Sailboat before you know it. Ba-da-ba-ba. Assuming anyway, I don't have to use my pitiful amount of flax to make some bandages. You never know, might have to do that. Damn, this is taking so long to heat up. Which would be fine, but I'm exposed. I don't even have that much health. I've got 13 health. Lucky number 13. Because I only have that much health because of my super varied diet. Which is primarily protein. On account of all the fish. But Avali are obligate carnivores anyway. You can eat other stuff, but I don't get a whole lot out of it. But imagine you've already eaten a bug, even if not on purpose. I did at a high school party try like a sour cream and onion flavored cricket. It wasn't bad, but you'd have to get over the fact that it's a cricket. Like if people just ate bugs, it'd probably solve world hunger. A sour cream and onion. I don't know if I said that. My brain is a bit out of it. What is it going to demand another? Oh no, wait, shit. That was a waste of charcoal. Finished what I was doing just as I added it. I'm going to pour this in there. No, it was just kind of there. With a couple of exceptions. I like trying new foods. There are a couple of foods, kind of like frog legs and escargot, that I already know I'm not going to like, despite the fact that technically I'm French. Damn, I've got like no food. Let's just eat this raw rye grain. Go to bed and wake up hungry. Let's go. Now, I mean, there's not much to the story. I just had a bunch of weird friends growing up. Of course, I moved high schools around a lot. I ended up going to the same high school 3 years in a row, though. Yeah, shut up. You're totally fine. Come to me, worms. Delicioso. That's what I call being saved from starvation. Oh, we gotta break it. Boom, anvil get. I mean, I don't have a forge or anything yet. But also don't have... whatchamacallums? Ingot molds. Working on that. Worm. Oh, it's a snake. Yeah, no, the poor thing is dead. For snake meat, not terrible. Can't eat it raw. Worm. I wish I could use worms in my cooking. Just make like a snake meat and worm stew. My continued survival demands it. Everyone's like, what's the deal with that funky bird out there? Just eating snakes and worms. And I'm like, what? Sometimes this is what survival looks like. On a scale of 1 to French. My sister took a genealogy test, which is unfortunate, because that means I cannot commit any crimes without having like a partial match to my DNA left behind. But we're like 60% French, 30% English and Welsh, and then like 10% everything else. Boom, boom. It's not really an interesting story. It's just the thing that happened. What's French? Caucasian? Yeah. The French are pretty white. Stop it. Stop it. Doing it twice in a row? What's wrong with me? 3 times? Not in a row, thankfully. I shared a picture of myself at 17 in one of my Bioshock videos. Not like I was sharing an old photo of myself. I was 17 at the time it was made. It's not a very high quality photo of me. Oh, starting again. But high quality photos of me don't exist. I'm like a cryptid. I'm impossible to photograph. Alright. These fish hooks so far, well, not really resource expensive. Been a pretty shitty investment. Getting like no fish from these. I've gotten a fish from these. You know, I look at that. This fish trap's got an Arctic char in it. I don't know what makes the char Arctic. This part of the world is certainly not Arctic. Alright, cooking pot. Smack you down. There we go. We'll create 2 servings of hearty snake meat fish stew. Delicious. And by delicious, I mean it beats starving. I've actually tried rattlesnake meat before. And I like fish. I eat a shit ton of fish. Probably all the mercury poisoning in my brain. Did I not light it? I thought I lit it. I guess it produced a lot of smoke. I actually don't eat chicken. It's extremely bland, and like you can season it. But chicken are also cute. Like if you ate house cat meat, and it's like, this isn't even good, and house cats are adorable, so why would I eat it? I'm kind of like that with chickens. I will eat eggs, though. Like from chickens. I do not eat cat ovaries. Regardless of what the tabloids may say. I mean, fish tends to be high in fat, but like it's a good for you fat. Unless that's just propaganda spread by big fish. But I like it. I do eat a lot of fish. I just wish fish wasn't so expensive. The rattlesnake that I ate wasn't a very good example of rattlesnake, since it was, like, dried. Let's see here. 516 protein. Oh yeah. I need my crops to hurry up and grow, because I am actively dying. Oop. Snake. Already dead. Poor creature. Come on. A lot of omega-3s. Only 3? Its weight was decent. I swear I got 4 from one that's weight was low. Like just now. Right, I don't think these fish hooks are the way to go. Perhaps they'd be better if I had like a lure on them, which I can pretty cheaply make. But at least for now, I'm not getting like any fish from these fish hooks. Oh, pit viper. I do feel bad for killing the snakes. I'm a huge fan of reptiles. I do actually like spiders more than reptiles. I've actually got a couple spiders that live around my desk. Does not tell my housemate, because my housemate fucking hates spiders. But honestly, house spiders are just like a net positive. I've got a few spiders in my room, and I'm not entirely sure what they're eating. But I'm sure that those spiders are in my room, because there's something I would rather have not in there. Any bugs get in, boom, a spider gets it. And I get to have a little dude just hanging out in my room. What's not to love? Fortunately, we don't get scorpions in the part of California that I live in. Although parts of California are deserts, so there do be scorpions in this state. Just not abundant in the valley. I don't think my housemate would eat a cat, no. My housemate's cats would probably eat a spider, but I feel like the spiders are smarter than that if they're still alive. Not to mention my housemate's cats aren't allowed in my room. Not because, like, I don't like the cats, or wouldn't let them into my room, but I sleep during the day. So if I am also in my room, it's because I've got work, and can't be distracted by just, like, little bugs. I mean, cats. The bugs tend not to be overly distracting. I'm just very tired. Ba-ba-dum. Pickaxe, lamel. That's good, make lures instead of hooks. Why can't I? There we go. Must have been on a different tool before. Probably the copy tool. Let's go and just fill in the whole thing and then cut them out. Hello, Vicar. I don't think scorpions are malicious. They're just funky little dudes who happen to be toxic. They've got venom in their tails. Whoops. Alright. Priorities. Got all this important stuff I need to be making, and I'm like, what if I made fish lures for the purposes of fish? Although my continued survival does rely on my ability to get food, which primarily has been fish lately. Jumping spiders are the same way, where they are primarily instinct, but they do definitely seem to be curious little bugs. Who knows, maybe their curiosity is just anthropomorphizing them. But they definitely do seem to like exploring their area. And they seem unusually aware of what is and is not food, as far as spiders go. Although you can pretty safely handle even venomous spiders, as long as they don't think you're going to squish them, they shouldn't bite you. But that being said, spiders are wild animals. And bugs with brains the size of a pin, so like, maybe don't risk it if you don't have to. You should be fine, but why are you playing with the Black Widow or Brown Recluse? There are brown recluses here, yes. Oh, tarantulas are just like big old puppy dogs. My dream pet would be the Grammastola porchata, or however you pronounce it. It doesn't have an English name, really, but people call it the Black Lab Tarantula, because it's, like, so docile. Beautiful spider, too. Not grim. Grammastola porchata. I'm probably mispronouncing that. If you look up Black Lab Tarantula, you'll find the one I'm talking about. Yeah, Brazilian black. That's another name for them. I don't know if it's like an official name. But they're also called Black Lab Tarantulas. I'm probably butchering its name. But its name is a whole lot of letters. Grammastola porchata. In my defense, I speak English, Spanish, and Finnish, but like I barely speak any of those languages. Obviously, I know a lot of English. But what even are words? Yeah, they're beautiful spiders. And they're like just big old puppy dogs. I guess little old puppy dogs. And I want one as a pet, but I also don't want one as a pet because I probably wouldn't be the best owner. Any fish? Nope. They sure do be eating my bait, though. Dicks. Look at my crops. My crops are amazing. Give them a lick. They taste just like raisins. Oh yeah, no, lovely spiders. Raw snake meat. That'll stay fresh for 2 days in my inventory. I'm gonna try to get more snake meat and then make like a proper stew. Although I am already hungry again. Herb I cook. Blue clay bowl. Blue clay planter. Spile. Where is that? Here we go. Spile mold. Break this grass because it is distracting. Boom ba-doom. On the topic of sussy refs. Are we on the topic of sussy refs? That's what we should do. We should do like a community stream where we play like a... whatchamacallit? Amogus. I'm just making so much more work for myself by trying to be lazy. What am I doing? Whoops. I've actually owned most of the Jackbox body packs. Or at least I own 1 through 7, I believe. It would be fun to play Jackbox, but I would have to get like an actual group together. You can play even if you're not in the same room. However, I feel like it's more interesting if at least the main party are all in VC. And then any open spaces can be filled by chat. And of course, most of them do have some kind of chat integration. A proper community. My community as it is pretty small, but you don't need a large community. What matters is community. Also, I do think that Opal and Bob would probably kill each other over quiplash responses. I just think it would be funny. Boom. We could get Scrimblow, Opal, and Bob all playing quiplash together. Oh yeah, Tabletop Simulator is a game I own. No, we could play that game I keep forgetting the actual name of. Everybody I know just calls it bullshit. It has like a more official name. I don't think it's Craps. Something though. Oh, my molds are done. Just gonna put these inside. Oh yeah. I mean, everybody should have Uno. It came for free with our Xbox. And now I need more fucking grass. Why can't I put my grass in there? Perhaps I just need more grass. I have an Xbox, I just couldn't tell you where it is. Everybody has Uno, it came for free with your Xbox. It was just like an online argument that turned into a meme. Alright, I either need more snake meat or something else I can throw in there. Oh neat. If I crouch in water. It's not exactly impractical by any stretch of the imagination. But crouching puts me under. Boom, 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 boom. Uno is a lot of fun. I can't remember the name of the game I'm thinking of. But basically the deck of cards is evenly distributed between all players. And then like the first person puts down any aces they've got, and they're like one ace, and the next person is like 2 2s and 2 3s. But like you're not guaranteed to have those, so you have to lie sometimes. And then you can be called out for it. And if the person who was called out for lying was lying, they need to take all the cards in the pot. And if the person who called out that they were lying, like if you accuse somebody of lying and they weren't, then the person who does the accusing has to take the whole pot. I just call it bullshit. It has an actual name, but regardless of people's attempts to teach me what it's actually called, I can never remember. Well, insulin is super expensive in the United States because healthcare is privatized. Because they can charge, like, a mortgage for some insulin, and you either have to buy it or you die. They're going to charge that much. Look at all these baby raccoons. I want one. There were some fully grown carrots around here somewhere. I'm probably going to start starving looking for them. Gonna eat some worms just to fend off starvation for a brief second. Where did those fully grown crops go? Aha. And it gave me at least 2. That's what I wanted. I'm going to have to expand my farm. I've got to be careful sprinting everywhere. Would be nice if I had some fish to add to my snake meat and carrot stew. But I guess beggars can't be choosers. Alright, let's go grab a torch. I also have to figure out why I can't put grass in my spile mold pit kiln. Right, what's going on here? This block is not a fireable item. Are we sure about that? Perhaps a bug. Raw blue spile mold. May have encountered a bug. Because you know what that is? That's a fireable item if I've ever seen one. Come on, food, I'm starving. A new testing version of expanded foods. I might install that. Gotta get some of these bugs worked out. If I'm playing a game with a bunch of bugs, I want it to be Hollow Knight Silk Song instead of Vintage Story. Alright. Gonna throw some firewood in there. Oh, I've already got firewood. Bring it up to temp. Throw in then my charcoal. I wish Nintendo didn't suck. Pokemon Legends ZA looks awful. But as somebody who grew up with Pokemon, I would like to play good Pokemon, but good Pokemon just does not exist anymore. I gotta play like fan-made ROM hacks from the older generations. Oh yeah, if Pokemon fans had like any amount of integrity and just refused to buy Pokemon games unless Game Freak gave a shit, we could probably get Game Freak to actually try. But people are going to buy the Pokemon games even though they are basic as shit, low effort, like slop, pretty much. And since Game Freak doesn't have to try, it's not going to. Have you looked at the buildings in Pokemon ZA? They're all flat JPEGs. Oh, gotta throw in my charcoal now. The only building in ZA that is not a flat JPEG is like the hotel or whatever the main building is. And the game lags near it, or at least on the original Switch. Yeah, I started playing Pokemon before I could even read, but that was on Pokemon Blue, which was its own sort of nightmare. I still think Pokemon should go back to the 2D sprites. The sprites at least had character. Pokemon has not looked good in 3D since the 3DS era. And the only reason the 3DS 3D models looked good are because, like, The screen resolution was so small you couldn't tell that they were lazy and trash. I mean, I don't even want Pokemon to be like HD hyper-realistic, because that would look like shit in its own way. I just don't want everything to look like smooth plastic the way it does. Like, just stylize the game. Don't rip off Breath of the Wild, but if you could make a Pokemon game that looks as good as Breath of the Wild, like, that would be fine. I should definitely go to sleep. But also, why would I do that? How do I make a forge? It's not 8 AM yet. I mean, sure, I would have had to have gone to bed for like 44 minutes ago if I wanted 8 hours of sleep, but who actually gets 8 hours of sleep? I need 7 cobble. That should be easy. I probably could have gotten away with using 1 less charcoal there, but nobody ever accused me of being smart. What am I... There we go. That was very scary for a second. The liquid metal I was pouring into the mold disappeared. And I'm like, I'm really early in the game, but I can't afford to be losing copper. Not ovulated. Any more fish? Nope, can't help but notice all my bait's missing though. I mean, that would be kind of funny. Oh, look at this little baby bluegill. I bet you're impressed that I knew that was a bluegill before I even picked it up. Oh, I play a lot of primitive survival. Pocket bunny dragon. Nah, I'm constantly on the verge of starvation. I should find some sort of permanent food solution that is not fish. Because as good as fish is, I seem to be barely getting enough to not starve at any given moment. If I could fire my spile mold, I could start getting maple syrup. What is rye cold hardy until... Oh, not cold hardy, warm hardy. I think my rye is probably going to overheat before it even finishes, but I am the dumbass that planted it, so... Yeah, a lot of early vintage stories kind of like that. I'm definitely not doing a very good job preparing for the winter. Although I am continuously heading south. So like, as long as I keep moving, well, I don't need to prepare for the winter, because I just won't experience it. Ideally, I would have better bags. Boom. Oh yeah. Let's see here. I believe cobble is just a bunch of stone surrounded by clay, yeah? Yep. That should be enough. Wait, that's 1 short. If I was actually placing cobble the entire time I was spinning my mouse around like I should have been, that would have been enough. Boom. Forge get. Put it over my tools. Surely nothing on there is flammable. I mean, you'd think it would be. But I don't think it actually works that way. Alright. Full belly, waiting for some metal to cool. Let's take a nap. Have you ever heard the phrase picking up pennies in front of a steamroller? Alright, my metal cool? Yep. And now that it's cool, let's heat it up again. I only need like a torch holder. Are you heating up? Yes. As long as it's not bugged. Unless I suppose it's possible that you just need 2 charcoal to heat up an ingot now. I swear you didn't used to have to do that. The best time for a burger is all the time. Yeah, if you go watch my older streams, which don't because they're all horrible, I needed 2 coal, or 2 charcoal just to heat up a single ingot. And every single time it happened, I complained that it used to just be 1. My ADHD barely allows me to prepare for things when I do prepare for things correctly, and then some bullshit out of my control messes it up anyway. It's extra annoying. It's like, damn it, I actually did everything right for once. And then I was still screwed over. Come on, come on, come on. I should still be able to work that for a tiny bit. Not saw blade. I want a saw, but I'm specifically making a chisel with this one. Alright. Gotta go fast. Sonic. Haste makes waste, except in this instance. If I slow down for... Is this ingot getting hotter as I work it? I swear that was 901 a second ago, and now it's 902. And I'm not gonna look a gift horse in the mouth. Oh, fuck. I fucked it up, because I wasn't paying attention. Oh, well, we'll hold on to that. Nobody has to know. Oh, where can I put it? I'll put it in my reed chest. In my defense, I should have gone to bed ages ago. We'll just never look at that. Pretend it didn't happen. I'm like, haste makes waste. Except in this instance, I gotta go fast. Meanwhile, I was doing it wrong. Although I do feel like my issue there is that I just didn't notice how much more material I needed. 'Cause I'm short as fuck. Chunks back from the split. I mean, it would be hard to work with just random loose voxels of metal, but you should be able to do it. Like, even if you need 3 voxels just to get 1 back, while everything is still superheated, just cram that shit back in there. Alright, have fun, Opal. Do. No. I want to bump. Not screw up the chisel this time. I will have to be cautious of that going forward. Either make myself a little slab to stand on, or just acknowledge the fact that because of my small size, I genuinely cannot see the entire work project at once. When you're short, you gotta learn to work around that. Also, hopefully they update the mod at some point so that I can wear clothes. Alright, let's make a chisel correctly this time. Just keep walking it back. Alright, now I can start breaking pieces off. I could not see that bit. Bow. Although honestly, Avali are like cold weather creatures. You would think I would need some serious insulation if I'm going to be working with... Whoops, molten hot metal. That's fine. Boom. Alright, let's not fuck it up again at this last hurdle. Chisel get. Bum. Hello, fish. Alright, should be able to touch it now. Yep. You do. Fucking door. I'm going to have to make a saw so that I can make a non-crude door. Not to mention, a saw will allow me to make barrels, buckets, and chests. But for now, I have to find out what the hell I did with... Here we go. And 2 sticks. Which I somehow do not have. Oh yeah, put my sticks on the ground over here. Perfect. So you here. That might be the opposite order. Maybe it's shapeless. Not shapeless. Hopefully I don't need a totally new hammer. Good. I don't need a totally new hammer. Quern get. That was like my main goal. Gosh, that's an ugly ass quern. But yeah, I do have to eat. I got work tonight, so if you've been hanging out this entire time, whether you're chatting or just lurking, I want you to know that you're appreciated. Yeah, my favorite is basalt. Basalt's a good stone. Very pretty. Although it would match my model a bit. Anyway, whether you're chatting or just lurking, I want you to know that you're appreciated. If you're watching this at some point in the future as a VOD and have somehow watched the entire thing, you have the patience of a saint and are equally appreciated. Like the video if you enjoyed, subscribe for more, and fizzity farewell. Unfortunately, I do not have a button I can just push to stop the stream.